Hello and welcome to the Simply Listed tutorial for tote bags. If you sell tote bags on Etsy, Shopify, Amazon with Printify, then this tutorial is for you because you are now going to be able to bulk make all of your mock-ups for those tote bags. So I'll show you two different types. I made one for the canvas tote bag and one for the all-over print tote bag with Printify. Now, in the future, we are going to have the option to create mockups for custom items, not just for Printify, so stay tuned. But for right now, I'll show you what this looks like. So here I have a template that I made for two different all-over print tote bags, and I'll test this to show you exactly what that looks like when we add our design, big pattern onto it. And here you can see what that's going to look like. So I've got the pattern on the back, the words on the front, and the mock-up looks great. And then for the canvas tote bag, it's not as complicated because there's no big pattern, but I'll test that one and put a design on it and show you what that looks like. And so now the design is uploaded onto the picture. So you can create these templates that I'm going to show you how to do right now. And then you can reuse the templates to make as many mock-ups for these products as you want, but you will not have to manually drag and drop your design on top of these mock-ups anymore, like you normally would have to do in Canva. And even better, it even uploads these mock-ups directly to your Etsy shop for you. Now, if you don't have an Etsy shop and you're using something else like Shopify, you can always just come here and download the images as well. So let's start from the beginning and show you how to actually make these templates. I'll start with the all over print tote bag because that is the little bit more of a complicated one. So to design for that product, we really have to start over here in Printify because one thing about Simply Listed is that we cannot grab more than one PNG file from Printify. So for these AOP tote bags, this might be a little bit of a pain to go back and do for old listings, but if you already are going to be making designs, this is how you'll need to make those designs if you want the design to be on the front and the back of the tote bag. So to design for these, right here on this little info button, it shows you that the print area for this is 2175 by 4350. So coming over to Canva, that is this print area right here. So I just made a custom canvas size with Canva for the 4350, and this is what it looks like right here. So then you can add your pattern, you can add your design here. But one thing to help you design, especially if you're doing a design on both sides, is you have to put the design here, and then you have to duplicate it and flip it upside down and put it down here because then you'll have the design on both sides of the tote bag. Now, if you need help designing for these, one thing that can help is actually using the template that Printify gives you. So right here, you can download this design template, and that can be really helpful in making sure that you know exactly where to put your design. So let me go back and add that to my page here so I can show you what that looks like. Sorry, I've got so many downloads from testing things right now. Let me just look and find it. I know I downloaded it somewhere. Okay, here it is. So I am downloading the small version. See, they download you a small, a medium, and a large, and I am designing for the small size right now. So if I download this template here into Canva, then you can use this to understand where the design's going to go to make sure that you line it up just right. So for this book one, for example, I lined my book up with the bottom of this line, and then I actually turned their template upside down to make sure that it was in the right spot on the top and the bottom. So this will show you where the bottom of the bag is, so you don't design on the bottom of the bag. So when I actually did that pattern, the other one that I'll show you, you just get some kind of pattern, whatever you're doing for your design, and then you can stretch it over the whole area, something like that. and then you can save your file. So once you save your file, it's up to you if you want it to have a background or not. If it doesn't have a background for your image, you can save it as a PNG with a transparent background. If it does have a background, then you can just save it as a regular PNG. But if you don't have a background, like that last one with the books, then you can pick your background color of the tote bag. But I don't really recommend that. I've only ever sold this with white backgrounds. And if you do have one with a colored background, then I really would recommend picking your own color in Canva instead of choosing the canvas color on Printify, because I can't help you make the mockups for the canvas that color unless you find a mockup that color. So hopefully that helped with how to actually make the files. So the next step with making mockups with Simply Listed is to upload your file to Printify. So this automatically gives you the 13 by 13 size. If you do want to add other sizes, you just hit select variants, size, and then you can choose the other colors. No problem. It'll size it up for you. So then the next thing you have to do is publish this to Etsy, because we can't publish the mockups for you unless you've published the design. So what I like to do is click hide in store. This is so customers don't actually see the file for sale in your store until it actually has mockups added to it. And you also don't get charged the 20-cent listing fee until you publish it. So I like to hide in store and then publish it in a little while. So now that you've prepped your design files the correct way for Printify, then you can come to Simply Listed and we'll make those templates. So coming over to Simply Listed to make the template, you click New Template, select Printify, and then you can look for the tote bags and then find the AOP tote bag, which I believe is all the way at the bottom. Yep, tote bag AOP, so that's the right one. Print provider, there's only one. And then you do have to choose the variant size to make the mockup for. So make sure you choose one that you actually added a design to. So in this case, I added a design to all three, but I'll just choose the 13 by 13 inch. Now here's where you actually have to upload your own mockups of tote bags. So this is all your own mockups that you purchase. My favorite place to get mockups for products like these ones, at least, is Creative Fabrica. CreativeFabrica.com is a great place to get graphics and mockups for like random products. I don't typically buy their shirt or sweatshirt mockups. There's not as many nice ones on here, but it is a great place to come for other types of mockups. And the nice thing is, a lot of times you can get a deal for like $50 a year for unlimited downloads. I get a lot of fonts from here. But you can also get a lot of graphics for different designs. But I'll put a link in the description where you get 10 free downloads with my link if you want to check it out. You can also purchase mockups on Etsy, but you do have to purchase those one by one. And they are probably $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 a picture. So if you buy a lot of different types of mockups, sometimes Creative Fabrica can really pay for itself when it comes to those. So the ones that I found for this tutorial for the AOP tote bags are this one right here from Digi Craft It Designs, and then another one from them right here where someone's actually holding it. Now, it is important that you look for a specific type of mockup when you're doing the all over print bag, because if you're doing a pattern that wraps around it, there's only one way to make sure that the design really looks like it's actually on there. And that is looking for Canva mockups. So ones that say Canva means that this part of the tote bag is going to be see-through and you're going to put your design behind it. So I'll show you what that means right now, just so you can understand what I'm talking about so that it makes a little bit more sense. So coming into this template, I'll edit it. You can have a mockup like this, where you can see the tote bag through it. And so that's how it's going to make it look really realistic for what we're doing. So I hope that makes sense. And so that's why I got this particular mockup, because that's the most realistic looking. So now I'm going to exit out of this and go back to where we were. And I hope that that makes sense. So go find yourself a all over print Canva mock-up. That'll make a big difference. And then come make your template. So again, I'll choose those files. But one other thing I guess I did forget is that sometimes the files aren't the same size. And so I do recommend bringing your files, all of your tote bag files. So maybe you have this picture, maybe you have this one, maybe you have a size guide showing the different sizes, maybe you have a page saying that you have a happiness guarantee or that you have a lot of good reviews. You know, you might have 4, 5, 6, 7 pages within here. I'm just doing 2 for the example. So I do recommend uploading it to Canva in, you know, whatever size makes sense for you, but I generally recommend 2700 by 2700 to make sure that the files are all the same size. If you don't do that, then Simply Listed is going to make your pictures all the same size as the first image that you make. So let me pull up the design files that I made of the tote bags here. They're both 2700 by 2700, and I'll upload these. And you do need to upload the background image first, and then we're going to make kind of a mock-up sandwich, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So with Simply Listed, it's super simple. All you have to do is add the print area here and then add the other image on top. So we clicked this print area button, and you'll see we pulled the print area from Printify. So that's why you have this big, long, skinny box, because it matches that print area on Printify that we had to design on Canva. And so if you think about it, we need to drag this bigger than the tote bag so that it covers it totally, and then bring it down so that we're covering this half of it. So now I can see the corner. So I'm going to cover that up a little bit more, kind of overlap and pull it down and overlap just a little bit to make sure it's all covered. So I hope that makes sense. We're just trying to cover the one side with the one side of the tote bag, just like with our design, where this is the bottom and this is the top. It's the exact same print area. And so that way, Simply Listed will put the design in the exact right spot. So once you've done that, then now you need to upload that front picture that has the see-through part in it. So I'll click my images and go find that one that I made. So this one here. So you'll see for this one in particular, it says blank mockup, and then this one says Canva mockup. So the Canva mockup is likely the right one that you want to grab. And we'll add that over top of our image here. And now this is how it's going to make it look really, really realistic, because I had that background on my tote bag on Printify. So hopefully you're enjoying this tutorial so far, and that it helps make mockups so much easier. And again, while this is loading, it's nice that you only have to make these templates once, and then we can make all the mockups for you super fast in the future. So that one is all done. The only other thing I forgot to do was potentially lower the opacity a little bit if you wanted, but you don't necessarily have to on tote bags as much. So for the second image, we'll click Add Print Area. We'll do the exact same thing and kind of make it bigger than the tote bag. Make sure we're not having any corner pieces stick out, and just a little bit above the top. Perfect. And then we'll add that top image again, but for the next one. So this one's again the Canva mockup from this user. We'll add that to the center. So you don't want to add it as the background, because that would replace the background. I'm clicking add to center so that it adds it on top. And again, we've got that sandwich. We've got a background image, we've got a print area, and then we've got a foreground image. And then that's going to make these mockups do exactly what I showed you. So while that's loading, I hope you're having a wonderful day. All right, perfect. So now that these two are made, obviously you can keep going if you have other images, but hopefully this is making sense so far. Now you have to name it. So this would be like the AOP Tote Bag Mockup. And we will save this, and we are completely done with that template. Now the Canvas tote bag is much more simple. When you make this one, all you have to do is upload the background image. And the background image, this one, again, I did get from Creative Fabrica right here. No, where was it? I'm losing my files. This one. So I got this download right here on Creative Fabrica from Mockup Infinity, but I did just type in the canvas mockup, canvas tote bag mockups. But again, you can shop for these on Etsy as well, whatever works best for you. So this one's a little bit easier. The only thing I did was I zoomed in on the background. So for the background, I clicked this background button once I got in here, and I did reposition it slightly because I didn't like how far away it was for my thumbnail image. So I did zoom in a little bit, and make sure if you do that, you click the apply background button. And then maybe I'll move it like that. And then to add the print area, this one's so fast. You click add print area, and in this case, I'll add what's on the front. And then this one, I will lower the opacity just a smidge so it looks a little bit more realistic on this canvas color, because we do want the canvas color kind of showing through. And we'll pull this down to where we think we want it, where it is on Printify. So you just look at the print area on Printify and try and kind of line up to it. So I'll just show you what I'm looking at and what I'm comparing to. So here's the print area on Printify, and this is the exact box that I'm adding on top of my mock-up right now. So this is probably the bottom of the bag, that kind of sits under it, and then you've got maybe an inch at the top. So that's why I've kind of set it up the way that I did. And then we will save that template. Nice and easy. So the last thing you want to do before you actually make any real mock-ups is test your templates, because you might have to make some small changes. Like the canvas tote bag, I'm going to click these three dots and click test. And you can click this button here. It's going to pull up all the products in Printify that match that exact product and that exact print provider. And so if nothing comes up here, then you do want to make sure that your model number here, so the Liberty Bags OAD 113 Monster Digital, matches what you have in Printify, which is the Liberty Bags OAD 113 by Monster Digital. You don't have to come in the editor to see that. You can actually see right here, Monster Digital Liberty Bags. So if these two things match, you shouldn't have any issues with it coming up. But if you haven't published it to Etsy yet, that's another reason why it might not come up. And then you can push this sync button right here, and it will check Printify for any new products that you've uploaded. So say if you're using something like Shopify, you might need to hit this button because you obviously haven't published it to Etsy. But when you publish it somewhere is when Simply Listed actually gets it to our software. So anyways, without further ado, we'll click this design from Printify, and they're going to put it on the image for you so you can make sure that the template is working right. So we do this so you don't get charged for any mock-ups. So then you look at this and say, okay, yep, that's the right placement. It looks really nice. I like it. Perfect. And then same with the all over print tote bag. We'll go ahead and give that one a test, and you can just test it with one. So we'll test it with this Mama tote bag design. Make sure that our template looks like it's working correctly. And then if they're both working right, we'll make those mock-ups. So zooming in, I think it looks great. It looks really nice. So I think that is perfect. So then now that we've tested it and these both work right, when you actually want to make the mockups that you'll publish to your store, all you do is click this template and it'll pull up those Printify products again. And now you can make mockups all at once for as many products as you want. In this case, I'm going to make mockups for 2 of them. And then the last thing I will say that I kind of forgot to mention is you can also upload a video. So if you want a video of something that you put in every single store, so you have just one video that every listing in your store has the exact same video, you can upload a video here, and then you'll see this little video button, see this little corner, that means a video is uploaded that will be uploaded to every single tote bag mockup that you make. If you don't upload a video, then we are getting it set up right now that it will make a video slideshow of these mockups for you. So it's either don't upload your own video and we'll make kind of a slideshow of your images, or you can upload your own video. And then I'll also go ahead and make the mockup for this one by just clicking create mockup. And then you'll see those loading, and it'll tell us in a couple of seconds when they're actually added to our approval queue. So you'll see those get added over here in a second. And so that really just did take only a few seconds. I'll open this up. The video generation, when we make the slideshow for you, does take a little while. And so those won't show up until they're ready. But if you do publish these mockups to Etsy, the video will get published later once it does load. But now you can see with the background, when we use these Canva mockups, it really does make it look like the design is actually on the canvas, which is really great. And this is what it looks like when you don't have a background. You'll see that kind of like white kind of look behind it, which is something I actually do with a lot of my t-shirt designs. I'll just put them on one of these all over print tote bags, but again, you have to save it in Canva as upside down because we can only pull one file. And then the canvas tote bag, I think turned out really, really nice as well. We'll let that load here for a second. And easy enough, your mockups are made and ready to be published to Etsy. So I'll show you in my Etsy store here. This is just my mockup store example. I'll kind of pull out of here and go to the tote bags that I just uploaded. So here you see those three. And then if I come back to Simply Listed and select the ones that I want, or click Select All and select Publish, it's going to publish all of these mockups directly to my Etsy store for me. So then those are completely made and ready to go in your store. And so once they are uploaded here to Etsy, you can go ahead and publish them for sale after you add anything else like your titles, your tags, or anything like that. And it looks like these ones already have the videos as well. So let's show you this. Since there's only one image, it's not really a good video. Normally it's a slideshow. I didn't even think about the fact that I only made one image for that and only two for this. So the videos are definitely better when there is multiple images to go through. But since these ones just have one and two images, it is just going to do a quick slideshow, but you get the idea. But I hope that you love using Simply Listed. You will have a link to a 7-day free trial down in the description below. And you can message us on the customer support on Simply Listed's website if you have any other questions at all. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.